Paul, thank you for visiting my webinar. The topic today is AI readiness, how to measure ROI, return on investment, and business value. And from my point of view, from my experience, it's the most important part in the development or implementation of artificial intelligence for the company. So before starting, I want to tell you that we have chat. You can always ask questions in chat or in Q&A section, and I will try to answer them during the presentation. So I want to be this webinar as live as possible to interact with you, to answer your questions. So it should not be a story, just story from my side. I want to share my experience, and Q&A section and question section, or chat section, it's where you can ask, and I will answer on all the questions and share my experience. So our webinar will be divided into 4 blocks. After each block, I will also try to answer on all the questions. And at the end, there will be general Q&A section where all complex questions, maybe we will make some sort of, I will try to do discussion. Unfortunately, it's webinar, only I can talk, but I will read all the questions and answer on all the questions. And I will try not to overcome timing, 55 minutes, so we will be done in 1 hour. First of all, a few words about me. I'm a technical director of WaveAccess Germany. Our company is more than 800 people, and we have different departments, and one of them is in Germany. And I'm responsible for technical experience for artificial intelligence in Germany. Also, I have a solid technical background, started my career as a developer, and I'm working right now mostly on projects related to artificial intelligence, to integration of AI into the companies. So this is my focus, and yeah, we live in a very interesting world, and I'm trying to be on the edge of technologies. What is AI really? So a little history. AI became generative AI only now, but before it started as a standard symbolic AI, hard rules with a lot of if-else statements. So it's like a first initial AI, simple, and the computer power was not very high, and so simple algorithms they were in place. After computer power became higher, machine learning algorithms, which were invented a long time before, they started to be in place, and our company is working with those machine learning algorithms since 2015, and even before 2015, the simple algorithms, linear logistic regressions, trees, they were in place, and they were used to predict, classify, and so on and so on. And when the computer power became more powerful, neural networks took place, and I would call it an era of deep learning. It's for several years. Deep learning started to be very popular. Neural networks were trained on a big amount of data, and as a logical continue, generative AI or large language model became also popular. So it's a transformer-based technology based on neural networks, and they were trained on a huge amount of data with huge cluster, huge servers. But still, all modern LLMs, it's not a magic. It's not artificial intelligence. It's an algorithm which predicts the next token or the next symbol based on the internal structure, or based on the some logic inside its neural network. So again, LLMs, they're not magic, it's algorithm, and while implementing the large language models or while implementing artificial intelligence in a company, you need to think about this, and you need to know that how LLM is working. So maybe next time I will take a look and explain more about LLMs. But still, it's a huge neural networks trained on the data, which predicts the next token, and that's all. So nothing special in LLMs. By knowing that, the next thing which you need to know and which you need to think about while implementing artificial intelligence in your company or in the process, that there are different type of LLMs. So regular LLMs is ChatGPT, which answers on the questions in the text interface. The next step is assistant when there is a solution which helps an employee, and employee is the main person who is responsible for taking action, and agent and autonomous agent. Even the next is when the system can perform tasks without employee. Right now, most companies, they use assistant approach where, and this is a good approach where you can start your AI journey for the company. Don't try to automate everything. Don't try to replace human. First step is better to use the human helper, and this assistant can optimize the process and can save money. So this is another point of view where you should go and where you should think about. Don't try to do everything at once. So small steps, and assistant is a good step first. And another point of view is what AI is doing. So we can divide AI into either answering mechanism or doing mechanisms. So answering is system when, or generating system. For example, generate summary for email, or generate email without sending an email, or answer on Q&A section without adding information about people, human inside some system. So it's answering type, it's simple, and the damage is not very high because the actual agent is not doing anything. And it's from another point of view, when you implement agents or add AI in the process, you can use doing. It's when you actually take an action on something. For example, for if you have internal system and you can either internal charge system. So we are implementing right now in our company internal charge system, and we have created the Teams bot, which helps our employees to answer on standard human resource questions like how to go, how to take day off, uh, how many days of day off do I have? And this is answering. This is simple mechanism. It doesn't do anything. But doing, it's when you actually can take day off without in the chat interface. So it's much harder, but still you can think about it. And when talking about chatbot or talking about some agent, you need to keep in mind what this agent should do. And unfortunately, so I will go back to that statement that 80% of AI project fails, neither leaving the MVP phase or experimentation phase. And it's very easy to implement MVP, and it's very easy to show, and maybe in 2 or 3 days or maybe in one day you can build a simple MVP. But when you are going to the production, there are always a lot of edge cases, performance, security, and so on and so on, a lot of questions which need to be answered. So later in the section, I will show you a checklist which we are using, but still the reality and how to avoid this reality and how to succeed all those projects. So we also can do it, and we have experience. And the lack of data readiness, the lack of metrics, its ROI, and not understanding the integration or lack of proper integration. It's the cases when the business or business value of this agent or chatbot interface is not very high. So the business value is higher when the whole process is covered. Uh, if you have any questions, you can ask them. So let's go next. So from one point of view, when you implementing AI in the company, it's very important to understand what is AI, what kind of AI, and when you're speaking to your supervisors or CEOs or employees, you need to be on the same page by telling chatbot. Everyone should know that this is chatbot, this is agent, this is helper. This helper helps not only answering but also doing something, and integration should be in place, and so on and so on. Another area or aspect is who uses AI. It's people. So, of course, we work with people, and in the companies, people are the main resource or the main actor in the process. And when we implement AI, we need to always think about the people. From my experience, also, depending on what kind of people, either it's non-technical or technical team, you need to think and keep in mind when you're talking about AI, what different aspects you need to cover. For example, for non-technical people, you need to talk about automation of routines, of automation of document generation, creation, less repeatable tasks, right data accessible in the right format. So you should not go deep in the technical side. You should go around the processes, around what people is doing. But when you talk to the technical people, there's always a technical side which should be covered. And in our company, we are also integrating AI to the developer team, and automation code generation or agent code generation like Claude or Codex. So we are using those approaches. And from technical, there are always a lot of questions how to build code, how to optimize CI/CD, and so on and so on. Of course, you need to go deep technical and cover all the questions. And I would say it's much harder to talk with technical team with non-technical team, because you must cover both and non-technical optimization and also technical optimization. And also, when you're talking about your management and trying to sell the idea of how to optimize processes, how to implement AI, there are different approaches. Again, from CEO or product owners, it's mostly non-technical people. And you need to cover business values like time to market, like competitive advantage, like user experience, optimization of processes. And for CEO, CTOs, you need to think also plus to these items, which for CEO also about the security, about the technical debt, which is generated by the code generation, and developers, they're not able to think or to cover all the code which is generated. About security, about protected information, will it go outside of the contour where the models will be deployed, and so on and so on. And also another point of view is when you try to implement, so we face this also in our company and with our customers, that there is a different type of adoption curve or different type of people who's looking at or facing these artificial intelligence changes. So I would divide people in three groups. It's conservatives, innovators, and active saboteurs. Conservatives, they just stay at one place. They don't believe in AI, but they're not actively saboteur AI changes. They just sit, think, and listen what will happen with AI. Innovators, it's early adopters. It's a group of people with whom you should talk, on whom you should rely, and who should be the core people for your AI innovation. And active saboteurs, it's the people who saboteur or don't believe in AI, and they try to find how agents or how LLM is not working. They try to find the complex edge cases, break your process, and they talk with conservatives, and it's group of people with whom you actually should interact. I see one question. So where to start if employee are actually resisting an AI? So I will tell from my experience. So we have dev leads in company, and one of dev lead, he doesn't believe in AI, and he's trying always to break this AI. And what I did in the team, so the team was around 30, 40 people, and there are different dev leads for different side of project that they were responsible. And what I did, I tried to talk with him and tried to put him from active saboteurs to conservatives. So I gave him an explanation how it will work. We sit together, looked at the code, how it's generated. I showed him the process. So I spent my time, additional time, to explain him what is happening. And I moved him from active saboteur to the conservative place and give him the channel to speak with me, direct channel. And in case of any questions, he's always writing me and we talk with him. But he has a management role because he's dev team, and this is why the approach is like very personal. But mostly you can you can just try to move those people to the system or to the part of the systems or to the part of the process where AI is not in place and try to talk with them and put to the conservatives area or uh, group of people. If it's not helping, then try to isolate them from the conservative innovators. And unfortunately, there always will be active saboteurs to the people, not to the changes. Uh, Another approach, so the people is very important, the technology is important, and also you need to understand where your company sits. And this is one of the questions which we answered during our AI readiness talk with our companies, and also we did this internally. So to understand what is the readiness and adoption of your company. If there is low readiness, for example, what readiness includes, it's how data is handled, how data is stored, what are the current optimization of the processes, are the processes automated, and if it's low, the data sits in the Excel file, or you don't have just one CRM without any automatization at all, or most of the processes they're offline, they're not online. So and adoption is low, then you're on pilot spot, and it's a good place where you can start your process either by improving readiness or by both selecting use cases, business processes, and trying to improve both end readiness, so data security, automatization of process, and in parallel do the adoption of AI or large language model. So it's introducing agents, optimization of some processes already included, already in place, or together with introducing with optimization, you also can improve those optimizations by applying this LLM. If you're in good readiness, it's like a best spot for scaling, and you can go to the sweet spot easily by adopting a large language model. Again, you select use cases, you select the people who is responsible for use cases, and you start implementing or LLM piece by piece. Don't again try to cover everything. First, it could be answering, and after doing, and first it could be helper for the people. And if you see that the process is working, you can fully automate the process by reducing the people effect in the process. And we also select the danger spot. It's when everybody knows the technology and CEO or CTO is using ChatGPT, understands that, okay, ChatGPT can solve really fast all the problems, or Gemma or Claude, and they try to implement without understanding of the data readiness, without any process optimization. Try to go deeper in the agents, create the agent, Claude bot, implement, and the side effect could be danger. The data could leak, the security could leak, the overall effect of a large language model could be bad, and so it can. It's better not to be in this danger zone, but it's not very hard to get out from danger zone to again back to the pilot zone and to the sweet spot. I was talking about the data a lot. So yeah, actually, there is a principle garbage in, garbage out. Because large language models, they are trained on the general data, they don't know specific of your company, and you still need to add this information in the context. I'm not talking about training, because to train on specific context, you need a huge amount of data, a huge GPU power, but it's still doable, and you can do the dedicated LLMs for your area or for your section or for your company. But it's too expensive in most cases. In 95% cases, it doesn't make sense to do this. But you need the context, and there are approach of how to build this context, how to build the data, and the data should be prepared, cleaned, and you need to have this data. Also, if you're talking about classical machine learning algorithms like tree regressions or other, they're very dependent on data, and data should be cleaned, prepared, and there are still areas where you can use this, but yeah, so data is the base for your good AI integration. And another topic about which right now I see more and more posts in the internet, it's security. Because of this MVP stage is that it's very easy, it's very fast to implement, and security is not part of MVP. It's not. It's always not. It's out of the MVP scope or out of the pilot scope. And but security breach could destroy the company, uh, especially if your company is about data. If the data is what you are selling, or data knowledge what you are selling. So you need to think about the data security. And another point is GDPR, EU AI acts, which also have fines for data loss and for not following GDPR. And of course, if you work with private health information, so private data is very important. And if you are talking about using cloud GPUs in the private cloud environment, it's one topic. But if you're using ChatGPT or GEMO or whatever model which is in cloud is in US, and we are working with Germany, for example, then you need to think about anonymization of the data or not using the systems at all. And you cannot just start a good project without return on investment. So most AI project also stuck in the phase in the pilot stage because after implementing the pilot, top management, they don't understand how to what benefit except that it's a good technology, it's a possible future, it may be possible business value, but right now in the current state, it just spends a lot of money on computing power, but the process is the same. And before LLM or before agent, the process was working, everything was working, there was profit in the company. After implementing LLM, the profit goes down, and CEO or chief financial officer, they don't understand why should we use this LLM, and there should be always a proper and transparent way how to measure this return of investment. So we also, from our experience, we have prepared a calculation framework. It's pretty basic. It's nothing special. But what we're using with our companies, when we talk with them about artificial intelligence, so we talk about business value, of course. So everybody knows that LLM is the future. Everybody knows that it can optimize the process. It can speed up the growth of the company. And business value, sometimes it's even easy to understand because it gives you advantage over competitors. Your huge or your quick processes, high quality processes, high quality user experience, it's business value. But what about return on investment? How much does it cost right now? And is it like working together with your current model, money model? So those questions which should be answered also when you think about implementing agents or artificial intelligence. So the problem is that it's always hard to measure the save time. yeah, because we are optimizing the process where people is working or the process inside the company, the time or the money is like the measurable item, and but it's not always straightforward how to measure that. And another topic is there is always additional hidden cost together with artificial intelligence. We are not talking about tokens or cloud. Also, there could be support and so on and so on. So a lot of topics which needs to be taken into consideration while measuring the ROI. What we are doing before even measuring the ROI. So we, together with customer, build this AI organizational chart. We find all the departments, all the responsible for the departments, all the use cases in the departments, and understand what is the data inside the department and which agents can be implemented, which task can be automated. And by doing this AI organizational chart, we understand the structure of the company with all responsible people. And also on that phase, we use this AI team's brain. It's the people inside the company who can uh, move forward AI, who is not conservatives, and they are brave enough to implement and they believe in this AI technology. And for each department or for each section of company, we find those responsibles. And so this AI organizational chart is the step one for us to understand where the company sits, what are the processes for the company. And by finding all use cases, the next task for us is to find this sweet spot. It's the task which is easy to implement, which is not very complex, and which is very frequent. Because if the task is frequent, it takes a lot of time to do this task. And if you optimize this frequent, simple task or use case in the first place, then we can faster find this right investment, better investment, build the architecture, build the technical base for future implementation. And this is our approach when we find first people, second use cases, and use case which is frequent and which is not very complex, and which is easy to implement also. There is information, or we also keep in mind the budget for implementation, and easy to implement a frequent task. We start the first. And by doing this, we can simply calculate the return on investment. And our formula is we calculate what is the efficiency gain of the task or revenue growth. So sometimes there is no revenue growth, there is only efficiency gain. Sometimes there is no efficiency gain, there is revenue growth. It depends on the task. Either you implement some sort of new service for customer, or you optimize the internal process. It will either one or second or both. And we subtract all the development cost of the task. So again, going back to the sweet spot, we find the simple task because we want to lower development cost. And simple task also produces less tokens, less API cost. We also implement or include this in the costs, and cost of the support. And support is the hidden cost. It's how much money you need to support the actual automatization. It's either dedicated engineer or part of the dedicated engineer. There always should be a person who is responsible for working agents, working processes. And we compare it with the current process. We calculate usage, we calculate infrastructure. So this is our formula in mind how to calculate return on investment. The good thing that is we are always we can do this, but the disadvantage is that of course it depends on the company, on the use cases, on the business model of the company. Yeah, there is a question, by the way, so that not all use cases and their projects is possible to calculate the ROI. What should we do then? I would say that I would disagree with that statement. So there is always question about accuracy of calculation. You can always do high-level estimation of the return on investment, And you always need to talk with the current business, and business is understands what is happening in the company, and they can help you at least give you thoughts how in which area in which direction you need to go while calculation of the ROI. And by doing this together with business, you will do this calculation more transparent. And so this is the consultancy approach when you look at the company size, the company processes, the company use cases, the company, how much money it spends on which area. And it's always a question about the salary or the profit or the service of the company. And if the ROI is not possible or very hard to calculate, you can always exclude this use case and find the use case where the ROI is possible to calculate. But again, when you calculate ROI, it's one part. Another part is business value, and you need calculate business value plus ROI, see which business value, if it has a huge business value in the future, but the ROI is low, of course, you can do this implementation. And this is risk or investment in the future. Okay, so let's go to the example of the ROI calculation because a lot of mathematics, but yeah. For one of our customers, it's travel agency, we implemented a RAG bot. It's answering bot to the most common questions. And this was a big travel agency, and they had a big client, a lot of clients, and the amount of tickets was 10,000 tickets per month. Average time, according to the CRM system, to answer the ticket was 12 minutes average working of the expert. And the rate of the expert is 40 hours full load, for 40 hours per hour. And by simple multiplying, we have around $80,000 a month. It's the cost of the support department for that company. What we did, we implemented a bot which deflects or closed automatically 15% of the tickets, and the time of average time of response, because the support team also is using this bot, it dropped by 20%. What we can do, we can calculate deflection. It's 50%, it's 12,000, and reduction 20%, it's 30,060. So savings from our estimation was 25,000. The next step is we are calculating how much does it cost to implement. So runtime is 4,000. It's how much does it cost to implement. Maintenance 6,000 is how much it costs to actually support this. And integration amortization, it's token cost and servers. And 10,000 is net gain. So it's a pretty simple calculation for that RAG bot, and we are doing this for all the use cases. So after understanding the ROI, we're or working together with customers, we are doing this self-check for every customer. It's our consultancy approach where we find first what is the data. So as I said, garbage in, garbage out is the principle. If the data is not good, then either the data should be updated, improved, or the process should be improved. So the AI could fail. Also, integration is the most important part, and security, as I said before. We created our audit checklist for the CTOs, which covers all the four parts. So the checklist has more than 40, I think, items inside it. So data and content, it's again garbage in, garbage out, integration architecture. What are the tries? What human should be in the loop? Who is responsible for which action? How it should be interacted with the human? What is the security about the document level access? What data should be accessed? What is role-based access policy? And of course, metrics like KPIs, ROIs, business value, monitoring, hallucination testing, how to work with hallucinations, how to evaluate model performance, and so on and so on. So all those actions or areas, they're covered by our CTO security checklist. So if you want, you can write me, and I will send that list which covers all the actions. So please write me in LinkedIn. And as I said before, by uh, working with the company and selecting the most common or the most easy to implement with the highest ROI use cases, we can establish the base architecture. And here's our approach. Usually it works for the companies. Only details differs. So what is the source? What is how the source is ingested? Where it is stored? So it's security. About the security here, we need to think. Intelligent Hub is the model, which model is used, which agents are used, what is the technology, is it like N10 or is it make, is it custom developed, is it our product, value XI, which we also can use as Intelligent Hub in our company. And what is the agent structure, who is orchestrator, what is the model. So we think about this Intelligent Hub as a central section, which, and also we look at the company infrastructure, company business processes, use cases, understand should be complex, simple, what should be for the future the best approach. And the last item is consumers, who will be using, which system should be integrated with, what are the UI channels, is it web chat, is it Telegram, Teams, Slack, or WhatsApp, is it a portal. So all those areas should be taken into consideration while doing this architecture. And everything what we talked about, we are covering internally in a Readiness workshop. And as a result, so it's not only our workshop, but when you talk or when you think about your company, you can also build this checklist. So first of all, understand the readiness score. We have approach how to calculate it. We are finding the most sweet spots use cases. It's from 3 to 5, so we limit 3 to 5, but maybe more. But we provide the list of all use cases. They can also do it internally. We understand the risks, all the security risks, all the data risks, and so on and so on. We build a roadmap. So how much time do you need, or what is the tasks needed to implement? And by having those lists, it's possible to create this exact ready summary with business value, with return on investment, with use cases, with project structure. So you can do this everything for the customer, and you can do inside the company those steps and understand, is it ready, what is the phase, what are use cases, and so on and so on. Thank you. So to summarize everything, I would summarize and again key takeaways which I wanted to cover during this presentation. So successful AI production is based on 3 pillars. It's data readiness. So what is the data? It's measurable ROI. How to measure the business value, measure the ROI, compare ROI, business value, selecting the use cases or tasks. And of course, your chatbot or agent should not be only answering, it should actually do the stuff, do the task, optimize the process. It should be integrated with your system infrastructure. And on top of this, there is always a security question. You need to think about what is the data, who is handling the data, the principle of least data access always should be applied to every part of the system. And also the items which I wanted to mention, it's business value sometimes gives you even more benefit than ROI. And not every use case can have immediate ROI, but business value, you should focus on business value plus ROI. And sometimes business value becomes a ROI. The cost of confident errors and AI right now, large language model, they can hallucinate, and they hallucinate a lot. and how to work with those hallucinations, how to build the proper process, how to cover edge cases, how not to give wrong answers. It's another topic about which you need to think while doing this architecture, implementing the artificial intelligence. High adoption, low readiness, it's danger zone. So bad process, bad data, bad integrations, and not understanding use cases can lead to the high cost of the errors, could lead to the danger zone. Try to look at the system infrastructure. Don't rush with the integration, but before analyze, estimate, understand the system. And only after doing those base steps, by understanding automatization, you can go to the LLM. And again, security. So I will repeat security a lot because it's the most underestimated topic for the LLMs right now, and everybody is talking about security, but actual implementation, they're not doing this implementation. And think about the people. So 20% technology, 80% people. You always work with people and people reaction, people processes, people inside the process. It's important. And don't use LLM. Don't think about technology. Think about people first, and only second technology. Technology will help you do the task, but if the people will break the process, your technology will fail. And demo cell illusions. So don't expect that AI will transform in, very easy your business. So demos are very easy to sell. Demo is working, but while doing this demo, you always need to think and present the side effects of real production implementation, like again security, again integrations, people and processes. So edge cases, all side cases. You can always spend 20% of effort on implementing 80% of functionality, but 80% of effort will implement 20% functionality of side cases, and it's very hard to cover all everything. And always think about hidden costs. So again, going back to the demo is easy to implement and doesn't have high costs. But when you go to the production, it's always infrastructure, it's always support and data update, token usage. If the system is working for 5 people, doesn't mean that it will handle 100 requests per minute, and the cost of 100 requests per minute will be very high, and you need to also think about this. And there is one Q&A question. In your question, I don't see the cost for preparation of workshops. What do you usually see here as a cost and upfront work? Yeah, so it's another topic. When it depends on the process, and if the implementation or usage of this agent or the interface of an agent is pretty simple, they should not be hard to teach internal employees to use the system. If you build a huge system, big system, then of course you have educational spends, additional educational spend. You need to spend time on education. When we prepare estimations, so in our company, how we approach this question, we estimate the implementation and the education or preparation workshops. It's part of our development estimation. So there is a section dedicated to it. This is why we don't we didn't add this as a separate section in our estimation. But yeah, it's a good topic. Workshops and a workshop for internal usage, workshop for employees. You need to teach them, and also this is another part where you can handle people who don't believe in AI, where you can work with those people. I see another question. The popular discussion nowadays is about AI will lead to reduction of the programming works. Do you think AI implementation need more development effort and more specialists or less? Yeah, so I completely agree that, and it already is reducing programming works. Right now, in our company, we applied this approach where we use AI development with specification approach, where engineers or developers, they are not writing code, they try to write specifications, which generates the code. And right now it's not working as good as expected, unfortunately, but still from 20 to 30%, it optimizes the work of custom development. And in future, it will be even more better. There will be approaches where you can write in a human readable form specifications. And by using those specifications, the agents, Claude agents, for example, or other agents will generate the code. Uh, Thank you for your attention. So, any more questions? Do you have questions? Mm. I see one more question. How to manage management expectations? For example, we assemble a demo a couple of hours, but production takes months. So again, the question to the development effort, and you should be transparent, and you should talk with your management about the effort which you spent, why you spent less effort, and by doing the demo, you should mention about uh, the future. What will be amount of people? What will be the load? What are the edge cases which is not covered? What are the integrations which are not covered? What will be the actual production process? And that production process will be much complex than the current demo. And the demo is showing that the technology is working, but the actual implementation will take more time. So yeah, this is the approach. You can use words like the system will crash with 50 users. It definitely will crash if the demo is working with one user, with two users, but with 50 users it won't work. Or you can talk about the hallucination, and even during the demo, you can show that edge case is not working and they're not covered, but at the end of the demo, of course, after a successful demo. But when you're talking about the actual implementation. Okay, more questions? I see. One more question. Our current AI tool are only burning money on API so far. How to fix it? Uh, yeah. So this is the case when we uh, implemented the AI without any ROI calculation, and of course, I need more details to answer. We need to go deep to the case and understand what this case about. But maybe there is a case when there is a low uh, uh, adoption and or underestimating ROI, or not understanding the AI, or not understanding how the production is working. So also, you can add metrics and understand what uh, parts of the system and why it is burning. Maybe cache layer can help you, or maybe it's not the right place, or maybe the process is not fully automated. So a lot of areas. But from my point of view, first of all, what is my approach? First, I would add metrics, understand what is the request per minute, request per second, what is the usage. After I will understand the process, what is the process, how, what is the request, is it a RAG, is it LLM, other maybe extra LLM calls which can be omitted, or can we simplify the model, not use the latest GPT, maybe GPT 4.1 can handle this. And what is the integration? Maybe some process can be optimized, and maybe cloud integration can be moved to on-premise integration. What is the technology behind that? So a lot of areas, and of course, you can understand either it's technical issue or a business issue. So either it's a bad business process or technical implementation is not very good. So a lot of ways how to fix it. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention. I hope I gave you a lot of insights. So if you want more details, you can always post me or write me a message on LinkedIn. I will answer all the questions. So have a nice day. Thank you for attention. Bye bye.